Okay, so we're going to do a couple questions from Chapter 9 review. I'm kind of going to go over every question, tell you how to start it, and then I'm going to do about 5 questions in the video. So let's get started. Number 1, since that is a rectangle, we'll find the area and the perimeter. So formula for the area, base times height. So that's just 12 times 7, and that gives you your area for the perimeter. 2 times your length plus 2 times your width is your perimeter. So your length is your 12, your width is your 7, same thing as our base and our height. Number 2, we have our diagonal is 10 square roots of 2. Since this is a triangle, so since this is a square, this triangle that it makes right here, it makes that a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So when we do 45, 45, 90, 90 is S square root of 2, 45 is S, and the other 45 is S. When you're on the test, you're going to actually have a formula sheet that is actually going to give you the triangles and what the S is equal, and also you're going to have all the formulas for the area and the perimeter of each shape that you have. So I go from the one across from 90 is 10 square roots of 2. So that makes the other sides that we have, our S right here, it makes our S 10. So across from 45, these sides are 10. Since this is a square, all of our sides are going to be 10. So I add up all of them, our perimeter, and then multiply to get my area. Number 3 here, we're actually going to do number 3 together. So I have 90, 30. Since I know 90, 30, I can say that this other angle at top is going to be 60. So 60 right here. Then I do my triangle 30, 60, 90. For my 30, 60, 90 triangle, 30 is S, 60 is S square root of 3, and 90 is 2S. So if I draw my angle across from 12, it goes to 90. So 90, 2S is 12. So 2 times S equals 12. So basically this is saying 2 times what number gives us 12? 6. So if I do this, 2 times 6 is 12. That makes 6 our S. And since 6 is S, then we can put our 6 here for S. And we have 6 square root of 3 is across from 60. So across from 60 on our triangle, on our rectangle, is S square root of 3. And then across from 30 is 6, sorry. Alright, so now we can do our perimeter. So if that side is 6, this side is also 6. The bottom is 6 square roots of 3. Then the top is also 6 square roots of 3. So remember, when we are doing the perimeter, we're just adding all the sides we have together. Since we have square roots in with this, we can add just the ones that are our integers, our numbers. So 6 plus 6 is 12. And then we're going to add the ones with the square roots. So 6 square roots of 3 plus another 6 square roots of 3 will give us 12 square roots of 3. So that's the answer for our perimeter. And then for the area, length times width, base times height, which is 6 and 6 square roots of 3. So we're multiplying those. 6 times 6 square roots of 3. So on these, we're just multiplying the front two numbers and we leave the square root alone. So 6 times 6 is 36. And then we leave the square root of 3 as it is. For number 4, this, we have a triangle right here. This is our rectangle. But since it does not give us this angle 30, then we can't actually say that this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. But what it does give us, that it's a right angle, and it gives us two sides, which means that we can use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, c is going to be our longest side here. And then our a and b really don't matter, so that's it for number 4. To find the area and the perimeter of number 4, you're going to have to find out what b is, and then from there you can find your area and perimeter. Number 5, ask for the area and the perimeter. So if we look here, we need to find out what these two are in order to figure that out. These two little sides right here. So if I like this entire side is 10. Let me go back here. This entire side, I can't talk today. This entire side is 10. That's 5. That makes this side right here 5. So they're equal on both sides. And then the top is 12. And this is 8 at the bottom. So that makes 12, 8. What do I have left? I have 4. So when I add those all up, I get 20, 44. So add up all my sides is my perimeter. So 12 plus 8 is 20, is 30, 35 plus 40 plus 4 is 44 for my perimeter. For my area, remember that we have to make these into two separate rectangles. So once I do that, this side here, 8 times 10, which is 80, so that is 80 right there. And then this one is 5 times 4, which is 20. So I'm adding those together for both of my areas, and my area is 100 for both of those. I mean, you can stop this anytime you want to. So if you're having trouble, keep it up. We did all this, didn't we? Number 6. Okay. Number 6 we're going to do. It says find the area of a square with a perimeter of 80. Okay. Find the area of a square, that's important, with a perimeter of 80. So we have a perimeter of 80. Since we know that all the sides of our square are the same, then we just divide that by 4, and that makes every side 20. Then we can find our area. Okay, number 7. Find the area of parallelogram with a base of 12 and a height of, base of 12 and a height of 6. So that's just area equals base times height. Multiply those together to find your area. Number 8. Find the area and the perimeter of this one. So the perimeter is easy. 8 and 8, 10, 10. So add those together to get your perimeter. But for area, for a parallelogram, base times height. Remember, 8 is not your height. Your height comes from this right here. And so when we do that, we have 90, 30, 60. This is a 90, 30, 60 triangle. And so you have to do what we did as in number 3 and continue from there. Number 9. The base of a parallelogram with a height of 5 inches and an area of 95. So there's a couple of questions like these on the test, but you have to go back, you have to work back from your formula. So area for a parallelogram is base times height. I know my area is 95. I need to find my base, and my height is 5. So after this, I'm just solving for my base, which I just divide off 5, and then I get my answer. Okay, number 10 here, we're going to do together. So perimeter is the easy one. So if that's 12, that's 12. That one's 10 squared to 2. Then this other one is 10 squared to 2. So same thing we did the problem previous. We're going to add up just our numbers. 12 plus 12 is 24. And then our 10s, 10 squared to 2 plus 10 squared to 2. is going to be 20 square root of 2. Now we have to find the area. Remember, area for a parallelogram is base times height. We have our base, which is 12, but we need our height, which is this right here. So we know this is 45, this is 90. So we have 45, 45, 90 triangle. So 90 is s square root of 2, 45 is our s's, and it gives us 10 square root of 2. So since it gives us 10 square root of 2, our s equals 10, so that's 10 and that's 10, which makes this side 10 and this side 10. So now we know our height is 10, and all I have to do is plug in our formula. So the area equals our base times our height, which is 120. Number 11, just area for the area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So a lot of y'all forgot to divide by 2 on the problem, so make sure you do that for your triangles. Number 12, kind of similar to number 3 here. So remember, these lines mean that they're the same, so that's 10. So we have 30, 60, 90 triangle. I'm doing the same thing, 30, 60, 90. It gives us 90, which is 10, which is 2s is 90, s square root of 3, and s. So this is basically saying 2 times what number equals 10, which makes s equal 5. And then you continue on from there. Find out what all their sides are to find the area and the perimeter. Number 13. So this one, remember, if it's a right triangle and it gives us 2 sides, then we can always use the Pythagorean theorem, okay? So we can't assume that it's 30, 60, 90 triangle or 45, 45 triangle. Number 14. Okay, number 14 is kind of long, so let's see. Remember, these sides mean that these little lines mean that those 2 sides are equal. So perimeter equals 20, we know this. And it gives us 8 inches already. So we need to figure out how much more perimeter we have to work with. So 20 minus 8 is 12. So that means together these sides equal 12. But they also have to be the same number. So divide 12 by 2 and make each of these sides 6. So to find the area of my triangle, which is base times height divided by 2, got my base, which is 8, but I need my height. So draw a line down the middle here. It makes that right. Now, I have a triangle I need to find my height for. So that one's 6. Since the line cuts the base in half, it makes this 4 right here. So I have my triangle, right triangle. Since I don't have any angles, it's a right triangle. I know 2 sides. I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So since 6 is my longest side, that's going to be my C. And 4, and my height is going to be my B. Okay, so I have 4 squared plus B squared equals C squared, which gives me 16 plus B squared equals 36. Subtract my 16 from both sides. B squared equals 20. B squared equals 20. Then to get rid of my square, I need to square root both sides. That leaves with B equals the square root of 20. Now I have to, let's do this. I'm going to move this up here. B equals square root of 20. And now you can reduce that. So we're going to make our tree 4 times 5, 2 times 2. We have a group of 2 here. Remember, our groups go on the outside of the radical, and ones that don't have a group go on the inside. So b equals 2 square roots of 5. So now to put it into our area formula. The base equals 8. Height is 2 times 5 divided by 2, which gives us 16 square roots of 5 divided by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8 square roots of 5. That problem is probably like your longest problem and probably the most involved out of all the problems on this review. Okay. Number 15, find the area and perimeter of a rhombus with diagonals 12 and 16. Okay, so the area, which is easy, you have diagonal 12 and a diagonal 16. Diagonal 16 and diagonal 12. So area is the formula d1 times d2 divided by 2 to get your area. So 12 times 16 divided by 2 will give you your area. But for perimeter, a little bit more involved. My diagonals are 12, which means that each one of the sides, each half of the diagonal of 12 is 6, and then half of the other diagonal, 16, is 8. So then, one special property about a rhombus is that the diagonals meet at 90-degree angles. So to find this side, all the sides, you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem. So you have two sides and it's a right triangle. Use Pythagorean theorem. It's a rhombus, so all the sides are equal. So if you find one side, then you know all of them. Number 16. It's kind of the same as number 15 above. So it's a rhombus, you know one side for the perimeter, which means you know every side. So just add them all up to get your perimeter. For the area, you need to know what this other diagonal is right here. So if this is 3, then this side is also 3. Then, well, we have a triangle right here. 3, 5. I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem, C, A, and B, in order to find the other side. Number 17. Okay, so like number 16, this is 7, that makes this one 7 right here. We're dealing with a 45-45 triangle, so if across from this 45 is 7, then across from this 45 is 7. So we know the length of our diagonals. Diagonals 1 and 2 are both 14. And then, so 45, 90 triangle, our 45 is 7, which is S square roots of 2. That makes our 97 square roots of 2. Number 18. So area for formula area for a trapezoid, base 1 plus base 2 times our height divided by 2. And we know everything on that problem to solve for the area. We have a second formula for the area of trapezoid. Area equals the median times the height, and with the median is this middle line right here, this 20. So multiply that by the height, and it gives you your area. 20. Find the height of a trapezoid base is 9, 6 in the area of 120. Okay, the height of a trapezoid. So in this one, we're using our trapezoid formula, which is A equals B1 plus B2 times our height divided by 2. So base 1 is 9. Oh, sorry. Our area, it gives us our area is 120. So write that one first, and then bases are 9 and 6. Our height is what we're trying to find, divided by 2. Now, easy, first thing we can do is 120, and then add our 9 plus 6, which is 15, divided by 2 times h. Now, what we can do is we can cross multiply, but first I know a lot of you like to put the 1 underneath it, so do that. 20 times 2 is 240, and then 15 times 1, 15h times 1 is 15h, then divide off our 15. So 240 divided by 15, let me get my calculator, I do not have it on right at the moment. Okay, 240 divided by 15 is 16. So our height is 16. The area of a trapezoid, this one is going to be similar to 20. We're going to use the same formula. The area is 144. Shorter base is 14. We don't know what the other base is. The height is 6. Find the longer base. Do the same thing, except you're just solving for b. Number 22. It's a little bit difficult, but we'll see how we do it. 12. We're kind of gonna separate this. Those two lines mean that the two sides right there are the same. So if I know that if I cut this right here, I know that that's 12, then like this is also 12 right here. The entire bottom base is 32, which means that this one has to be 10 and this one has to be 10. So I have 10 plus 10 plus 12 is 32, so I know my sides. Since these are 45 triangles, that makes our height 10 as well. And then the outside, these are 10 square root of 2 and 10 square root of 2. And from there on, you can find your area and your perimeter. Okay, so this is a quick review, and remember that you can like stop this or you know, go over this as many times as you want. You can use your review on the test, and you'll also be giving a formula chart. So I hope this helped you, and I'm sorry I wasn't there on Thursday. Okay, bye.